Listen, I think the Ethereum merge is a really big story, right? It has been. I mean, when I first bought Ethereum, way back in 2015, they were talking about this move from proof of work to proof of stake, and
Hmm.
it's finally here, and that gives energy to the space. It's going to reduce the supply of Ethereum that's sold every day dramatically. It's going to reduce the inflation rate, and so I think Ethereum has a real story. And Bitcoin's story is very much tied to the Fed, and we're still in a really complicated scenario. The last few data releases have started saying, well, geez, maybe that crazy idea of a soft landing is possible. I'm still really skeptical of the soft landing, but the market's telling you they're believing in it. Um, and so assets are going up. I think the Fed's going to be able to stop raising rates. Wednesday's a big deal.
Yeah.
Wednesday's number. If it's a horrific print, you're going to see another sell off in fixed income and probably sell off in risk assets. Um, but I think, listen, what you saw with BlackRock, putting Aladdin into play with crypto,
Yeah.
that's actually unbelievably important for our space.
The Lord's house is moving to the metaverse. Worship, communion, even baptisms heading to the virtual world. Some pastors say it's cheaper because they don't have to pay for a brick and mortar church, and it allows congregants who can't leave their homes to join in. NBC's Savannah Sellers shows us how it works.
This is Pastor Jason Poling on a Sunday morning.
All right, good morning, everybody.
And this is Pastor Jason Poling on a Sunday afternoon.
All right, we can get started now.
Well, his avatar anyway.
Welcome to the Cryptoteacher. And of course, I come back with that video just to make you think. And we have Mike Novogratz on the Ethereum merge, and the worst may be over. And guys, we know they haven't even gotten started yet. We know that BlackRock is bringing an Aladdin to pick the winners and losers. BlackRock's Aladdin has already ran a quadrillion scenarios. And we know they're coming into crypto at this time to do what? That's right, take your money. We have over 20,000 cryptos, and we know only 0.5% of those are going to be left. We've seen this movie before with big tech. We know the NWO caused the problem. Wait for the reaction and run in with the solution. And the solution is the robots, algorithms, and drones, while the sheep go inside the metaverse. That's right, you're going to have church in the metaverse. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have Janet Yellen of the U.S. Treasury puts a halt to Tornado Cash, a privacy tool. And if the United States government is banning it, guys, we know it was working. So what do they normally do? They normally use it for themselves. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
We're following some breaking news regarding Tornado Cash. The U.S. Treasury Department just banned all Americans from using the Mixer service, which lets users obfuscate their crypto transactions. Tornado had been instrumental in a handful of high-profile hacks this year, notably out of North Korea. I asked Ari Redboard of TRM Labs whether this meant the U.S. was getting more serious about crypto's use to skirt sanctions. Ari, how important is that decision by the U.S. Treasury Department to sanction Tornado Cash today?
It's really important, and it's a really big deal. Kate, I would put this sort of in the category of the most important crypto-related sanctions that ever came out of the U.S. Treasury Department. And it's really just the size and scale of Tornado Cash. Essentially, Tornado Cash was sanctioned. And just to back up a little bit, Tornado Cash is what they call sort of a mixing service. And it's a way for users to anonymize transactions. Basically, they pool the funds and then send them out sort of the other side to ensure that you sort of lose track or in order to obfuscate the funds. Imagine a mixer and you have a pretty decent sense of sort of what's happening here. But essentially, look, these types of mixing services, Tornado Cash in particular, has been a go-to tool to obfuscate transactions by cyber criminals, particularly North Korea. And North Korea has essentially used Tornado Cash in every major crypto heist, every major hack, really over the last year or so. And with this designation, Treasury is saying, look, enough. We cannot allow cryptocurrency mixers or any other businesses to facilitate money laundering, particularly money laundering from a nation state actor that's going to use the funds for weapons proliferation and other types of destabilizing activity. My view is that as we sort of do more and more transacting on an entirely open financial system, there are going to be legitimate reasons why people want to anonymize transactions, right? You don't want someone looking at every credit card transaction you've ever done. That said, I think that what the government is saying here, what OFAC and what Treasury is saying is, look, if you are going to operate a service like this, even if there is legitimate activity, you need to have controls in place, whether that means sanction screening or other types of compliance tools to stop bad actors from taking advantage of this sort of ability to anonymize or obfuscate the flow of funds. So I think there are absolutely legitimate reasons, but unfortunately, these types of services have become a go-to for cyber criminals.
We're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort. And China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends. So therefore, we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID 33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.